Hey Cindy, you there? Hey, are you off today?
Oh, hello. Kathy, right? Yes, today's my day off. Why do you ask?
Seriously, you really have a day off? I'm super shocked. I didn't think a cleaning lady had any days off.
Of course I do. If I had to work 7 days a week, I wouldn't last very long.
You always take things so directly. What I'm saying is that I'm shocked you can afford taking a day off.
Excuse me?
I mean, it's obvious, isn't it? You're just an old lady working to make ends meet. Take a day off and you can't make ends meet. That's about it, isn't it? So, taking a day off for you is life or death.
I don't really know what you're getting at.
But I'm just stating facts. Also, a cleaning lady, please, is the kind of work lowlifes do. When you don't have any skill or brains to do anything else.
So, do you mean to tell me that you have never done any cleaning in your life?
Excuse me?
Didn't you help out with the cleaning during school or help clean the house with your mom? And don't you help out at the office? I'm sure you have to keep your own cubicle clean, right? Or do you leave it solely to the janitor? How about at home? Don't you clean your room or wash your bed sheets? Don't tell me you don't do the laundry at all. I hear you came out to live in the city from Nebraska or somewhere. You live alone, right? You must clean up your room every now and then, right?
Well, yeah, I have to.
Or do you just opt to live in a pigsty and have the dry cleaners do your laundry and you always eat out? Is that it?
Excuse me, a pigsty? I keep my room spotless for your information.
If that's the case, you really shouldn't say that cleaning is a low-life job, as you put it. Simply put, cleaning is something everyone does out of necessity, or it's a job.
Don't lecture me. I didn't exchange line info with you just to listen to some sermon.
Oh, I see. So you just contacted me to trash talk me for being a cleaning lady so you can relieve some of the stress of your boring life. Is that it?
Ugh, I was just saying that.
So that's it, huh? You wanted to exchange line info so you could just berate me. I see. So you thought I was of a low position in the company because I happened to join the firm unexpectedly and not during the usual recruiting season. Is that it?
But it's true, right?
I hear you're still temporarily employed here, still in the training phase, right? I respect your enthusiasm about your job, but I recommend that you get your priorities straight. You really should focus on work and not worry about this or that social group.
Ugh, what?
Okay, I have to get back to work and I'm sure you're busy too.
What is this? Who the hell do you think you are? You really get on my nerves, you know that? Hey, Cindy. Me again. There's going to be a company party next week. Wanna come?
Yes, I know. The company's 30th anniversary party, right? Of course I know all about that.
Excuse me? I can't believe that a lowly cleaning lady has even heard about it.
Of course I know about it. The company is one of our biggest clients. Our cleaning company has a big account with them. All of our staff members related to that account has been invited to the party.
Oh, I see. So you're one of the employees of this cleaning company, huh?
That's right. Didn't you know?
I just thought that you were just hired as an independent part-time cleaning lady is all.
Oh, I see. Okay, so now you know. Not just a little old cleaning lady from the neighborhood.
But kind of weird, isn't it? I mean, a cleaning lady coming to a company party, it would be more respectful to the company if you declined the invitation, don't you think?
Why is that?
Huh? Seems obvious, don't you think?
No, not really. Why do you say that?
Because you're a cleaning lady.
Okay. So what?
Pardon me? What I meant is, you're a cleaning lady, and, well, you should know your place, so you should decline the invitation, that's why.
We received a formal invitation from the company. It would be rude to decline such an invitation, don't you think?
Yeah, well, but...
If that's all, I really have to get going.
I was just saying, you know?
Okay then. Nice talking to you. Goodbye.
Oh my god, I can't believe this. Why is the cleaning lady at our party? It's the company's 30th anniversary, for Pete's sake. I thought I told you it would be better if you declined the invitation, didn't I say that? I remember you saying you had to attend because it would be rude to decline since our company is one of your biggest clients or something. I bet you just attended so you can get your fill of free food and drink. That's it, isn't it? Really pitiful. Hey, wait a second. Why are you talking with the president of our company being all friendly and all? Oh, I know. I bet you're trying to get him for yourself. That's right. You know I have my eye on him too. How pathetic. You're just a cleaning lady, for God's sake. You have no right. As a proud member of this company, I will take it upon myself and have you ejected from this party. What do you think about that? You had it coming. I had the floor staff ask you out to the hall and dumped a bucket of water on you as you stepped out. Worked like a charm. Oh boy, what a sight to see. You were all drenched in water, like a stray dog. Woof, woof.
What's the meaning of this, Kathy?
Like I said when I lined you earlier, it's all your fault. A dirty cleaning lady comes along to our 30th anniversary party, not showing proper respect by declining the invitation. It was just a formality. Can't you take a hint? Why would we invite the cleaning lady on this important occasion? Also, for trying to hijack the president of our company and my darling. I got your precious little dress all wet. Why don't you use it as a rag to clean the bathroom? After you do that, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. Yeah, looks that way. Goodbye and good riddance. Hey, what's going on here? Why have I been kicked out of this party? They said I can't return, saying something about paying for the consequences later or something or other?
After what you did, seems like the obvious thing to do. What are you talking about? You just dumped water all over the president of a company that's one of your major clients.
Huh? What are you blabbering about? President? President of what?
The president of Ace Maintenance and Cleaning. I own the company.
Excuse me? Wait, what? But still, you're still trying to sweet-talk our president? That's obvious. Anyway, all I did was go over to the president's place and congratulate him on the company's anniversary.
So, with that, you thought you had the chance with your boss, is that it?
Yeah, that's how it was supposed to go down, but he was super pissed at me for some reason and kicked me out. Did you put him on this?
I should tell you right now that the president is married with kids. You did know that, didn't you?
Huh? Excuse me? He's married?
That's right.
What? Why is this the first time I'm hearing this?
You just never asked. That's all. I heard you talking nonstop to him. He mentioned that he was married numerous times, but you ignored him. Actually, I recorded it all.
You what? Why did you even record me, for God's sake?
Well, because I'm married to him and wanted concrete evidence of all this.
Yeah, wait. What? What did you just say? You're just a darn cleaning lady.
Okay, let me explain something to you, Kathy, and I hope this opens your eyes a little. The president of this company that you are employed at, is married to me, the dirty old cleaning lady, which also happens to be the president's wife. Is that clear enough for you?
You're making all this up, right? Why is the president married to a cleaning lady?
Now that you understand, I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
No, this is not happening. I've been suspended. I've been told I can't come to the company for a while. This is your fault. And why the hell is the cleaning lady the president's wife? Makes no sense.
You just won't let this go, will you? Okay, let me explain how we ended up getting married.
Pardon me?
About 8 years ago, my husband acquired a 5-story building as part of our company's overall expansion. With that, my maintenance and cleaning company was awarded the contract for that building. That's how we met, and 3 years later, we got married.
So that means when you guys got married, you were both presidents of your respective companies?
Yes, that's exactly right. It seemed obvious. I mean, we both have the same last name. Didn't you even notice?
Well, now that I think about it...
I was a little reluctant to work directly with my husband's company, but we were short of staff and financially struggling, so I figured once we got back on our feet and hired enough people, we would rethink the contract. But then my husband gradually lost enthusiasm for the company about this time. Apparently, there was someone at the company who was always bad-mouthing the cleaning staff, and there were various complaints he was getting from other staff members. As the company's representative regarding maintenance, I was tasked to investigate, which led me to a woman named Kathy Pierce, a recent hire. This woman apparently also had her eyes on the president himself.
Well, that was because...
And despite telling her that he was married, but you would not listen, and as a result, my husband totally lost it. If I had not caught him in time, I really don't know what he would have done.
I didn't mean to.
And also, you weren't at the party after that unfortunate incident and probably did not know, but we were in the process of introducing a cleaning product that both my company and my husband's company developed together.
Seriously?
But, as you know, I was drenched from top to bottom and could not continue with the product presentation. As a result, the whole schedule for that party was in shambles.
You're kidding me. Why wasn't I told of this?
I got changed and returned to the party as soon as I could. We succeeded with the presentation despite the circumstances. Regarding what you said and did to me, the company will probably render whatever consequences they have in store for you very soon.
But please don't have me fired. I just lost my job at my previous company. I was accused of being a stalker. Can you believe it? So please, I really can't lose my job.
No use complaining to me about it. There's nothing I can do. I suggest you just wait patiently at home for their decision.
Please, I need this job. Could you at least put in a good word to your husband? Please. Cindy, are you there? Oh God, did she just block me?
Several days later, she was asked to resign. She refused at first, thinking that she had a slight chance of retaining her job, and as a result, she was fired. If she would have simply retired, she could have received some financial benefits. Several weeks later, her parents arrived from out of state and visited the company. They profusely apologized for their daughter's disparaging attitude. They demanded that they be allowed to pay for damages for the emotional distress of stalking my husband and for drenching me with a bucket of water during a very important company presentation. The next day, we discussed the issue with our lawyers and decided to accept their offer of compensation. Her parents paid the entire amount but was adamant that Kathy work and pay back every cent. I heard she is now living with her folks and working day and night to pay them back.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Adriana, why are you at Dad's funeral?
Huh? What do you mean why I'm at his funeral? Weren't all of Dad's relatives invited to come?
Stop pretending like he was your dad, Adriana. You're pretending like you were his family during yesterday's wake, too. Do you know how annoyed I was at seeing you?
But I'm his daughter, so I wanted to say farewell to him as well.
Huh? It seems like you have some sort of misunderstanding, but it's extremely rude to sit with his family when you're just an adopted child.
What? I know I was only adopted, but he raised me like his own daughter ever since I was a young child. I don't even remember who my real parents were.
It doesn't matter whether he raised you or not when you're not actually related to him by blood. You're not related to me either. I call you my sister just for convenience, but I don't really think you're my sister, all right? You're always just fucking Adriana in my mind. But I'm the daughter of a CEO, so I can't say such things out loud, right? I feel as if I'm being punished whenever I have to call you my sister, but it can't be helped.
Philia, why were you always this mean to me?
Why shouldn't I be mean to you? Even though you weren't even Dad's real child, he always treated you better than me, his actual daughter, for some goddamn reason. But just because I call you my sister doesn't mean you can pretend to be his daughter at his funeral. Dad was always nice to you, but I'm not going to be the same. I'm his real daughter, not you. You're basically just a stranger to him, you know?
I'm sorry. I didn't know you felt like that all this time. I guess it must have been difficult seeing your father treat us differently. But still, what you're saying is just going too far. Just because I wasn't related to him by blood doesn't mean that we couldn't have had a meaningful relationship as father and daughter.
Shut it. Just leave the funeral right now. I don't want to hear any of your excuses. Ugh, I always hated how you were like this. Every time I get mad at you, you always pretend like you did nothing wrong and I'm the bad guy. For once, could you just admit you were wrong?
Adriana, are you alright?
Oh, hi, Irvis. It's fine. I just got a little bit wet. It's not like she hurt me or anything.
Someone saw Phila dumping a bucket of water on you and told me about it. Where are you right now?
I'm at the rental clothes store near the funeral.
Oh, so you rented morning clothes to go to the funeral?
Yep. Someone from the shop saw that Philly had dumped a bucket of water on me and brought me here.
I'm glad things seem to be alright. They're gonna give you new clothes, right?
Yeah, thankfully the owner's a kind person. I also thought of borrowing a wig and some glasses.
What? For what would you need a wig and glasses for?
To disguise myself, so I could sit with the rest of the relatives without being noticed.
What? You don't have to hide like that, Adriana. You did nothing wrong. He's your father.
But...
I'll sit next to you the whole time and prevent anyone from doing anything strange.
What? You'll do that for me?
You're my fiance. I already got permission to sit with your relatives, so it's not gonna be a problem. Even Phila will have no choice but to behave if she's in front of a crowd of people. Don't worry about it. Return to the funeral and say goodbye to your father. Even though you weren't related to him by blood, you were probably closer to him than anyone else in that funeral. Even Phila.
Irvis, I wouldn't know what I would do without you. Thank you. I'll return as soon as I change.
What is your problem? Why is Irvis standing watch next to you the whole time?
Hello, Philia. I know you were mad at me, but dumping a bucket of water on my head like that was rude. I would have been glad to settle our differences, but you didn't want to talk to me.
This again. I hate how you always make me seem like the bad guy. You don't seem to understand yet. You're not supposed to be at this funeral. Also, Irvis is supposed to be my fiance, not yours.
Huh? What does Irvis have to do with this? And what do you mean he's supposed to be your fiance?
I mean, shouldn't a person who's going to inherit father's company marry the CEO's only daughter? Mom said that as well. And besides, he's too good for you anyways.
Are you trying to say that it's already decided that Irvis is going to be the next CEO? Where'd you get that information?
I mean, isn't it obvious? For some unknown reason, he's engaged to you, who isn't actually related to father, but it was supposed to be me, you know? This is a good opportunity, so I'll be taking Irvis from you, okay?
That has nothing to do with whether Irvis is going to be the next CEO. What you're saying doesn't make any sense, Philia.
You're so frustrating to talk to. You're going to leave this funeral and Irvis is going to be mine, period. Oh, I almost forgot. There's something Mom wants to tell you. Don't think that a stranger has a right to receive an inheritance, she said.
Sorry, but I'm not going to leave the funeral, and I'm not going to give you Irvis as well. And what's that about the inheritance? Is she telling me to let go of my portion of the inheritance when he was my father as well?
Fine. Stay at the funeral if you want. Just know that you aren't welcomed here. Oh, and as for Irvis, I'll take care of him myself later. And yes, that's what Mom is saying. I agree with her, by the way. Why should a complete stranger inherit stuff from my dad, who was a CEO? He probably has a fortune waiting for me.
I don't think this is something we should be talking about the day of the funeral. It's impolite. Dad's will's going to be released by a lawyer after the memorial service takes place, right? The company can't just wait until it's released. So it seems that they're holding meetings to decide who the next CEO is going to be. So I think it's best not to say or do anything stupid for now.
I didn't quite get what you said, but I'm going to take Irvis from you, all right? Irvis himself will probably choose me, the CEO's real daughter, over a complete stranger like you, if he's going to go after the position of CEO.
Well, I guess we are just strangers to each other. I can understand why you don't like me, but it's not an excuse to treat me the way you're currently treating me.
Finally, you understand. It's fine with me, whatever you think, as long as you get out of my life. Looks like you messed up, Adriana. Irvis, the next CEO of Dad's company, is going to be mine now. Too bad, I guess.
But it was already decided before Dad passed away that Irvis wouldn't be the next CEO.
Huh? What are you talking about? What do you mean he's not going to be the next CEO? Hi, Irvis. I'm your new fiance from now on, so I hope we can get along.
Huh? What are you talking about, Filler? My fiance isn't you, but Adriana, your sister?
Oh, that's been canceled.
Huh? Canceled? What do you mean?
Dad messed up a bit, so you for some reason got engaged to Adriana. But in reality, you're supposed to marry me, not her. Which is why I'm gonna fix things now that Dad is gone.
My marriage with Adriana has nothing to do with the company's interest, though.
But just a little bit longer and I'll get my hands on Dad's inheritance. If you don't marry me, then the position of CEO is gonna be harder to obtain, you know?
I don't quite follow.
What?
It doesn't matter what you say. My fiance is Adriana. I have no intention of getting married to any other woman. Goodbye.
What's the meaning of this? Why are you the next CEO? This has got to be some sort of mistake. What dirty trick did you use to make this happen?
Philia, it looks like you're misunderstanding.
What? How am I misunderstanding?
I'll try to explain to you what happened, all right?
Fine, explain it then.
Well, we first need to talk about why your father adopted me.
It's because Mom and Dad couldn't quite bear a child, right? But I was miraculously born after they adopted you.
It's true that they couldn't bear a child before they adopted me, but everything else is wrong.
Huh?
They didn't tell me how much you knew, but it seems that I'm Dad's biological nephew.
What? His nephew?
Yes, I'm his sister's daughter. His sister and her husband, meaning my real parents, suddenly passed away after getting into an accident. So your father took custody of me and adopted me as his daughter. That's what I heard.
Oh, is that so? So does that mean we're cousins?
Yes. About the next CEO of the company then. Dad's company evaluates people entirely on their skill. It's just a coincidence that the next CEO, me, also happened to be related to the previous CEO. I was one of the employees who were chosen as candidates for the next CEO, and luckily they noticed my hard work and chose me.
So what about Irvis?
I've been going out with him since I was in the second year of high school. I'm only marrying him because I want to. It has nothing to do with the company.
No way, but I heard that he was competent at his job. He was at least chosen as one of the candidates for the next CEO, right?
I didn't know you had that wrong as well. Irvis isn't even an employee at our company. Where did you even get that information?
Seriously? But I always thought that Dad had brought the two of you together since he was planning to make Irvis the next CEO.
What? You read way too many short stories, Philia. Well, do you understand the situation now? There's a lot of things I need to learn if I'm going to be the next CEO, so I'm quite busy. Bye.
This can't be true. This is completely different to what I thought was happening. Why did I get everything so wrong? Why? Why is Dad's will like this? You inherit all of Dad's property, and me and Mom just get a few gifts.
It's just as the will says. Apparently you're Dad's child legally, but your father was actually a different man, and you were only born because Mom cheated on Dad. I was surprised when I saw this on the will, too. It looks like Dad even has proof that you aren't his real daughter, so there can't be a mistake.
What?
I'm sure Dad was conflicted by this fact all this time. He probably could have divorced Mom whenever he wanted to with the proof that she cheated on him. He could have even threw you away with her since you weren't his actual child.
Huh? So after all this time, you were the one who's related to Dad and not me? Why didn't he tell me about this sooner?
Dad wasn't the type of person to discriminate between us just because of the conditions surrounding our birth. He probably didn't tell us to keep the family safe. Maybe he knew that he and Mother would have gotten divorced. This proves that he did in fact care for you as well, Philia. Because if he hadn't, he would have just left the family fall apart and leave you and your mother to your own devices. You were just too blinded by jealousy to see that he cared for you as much as he did as me. I think what's written on his will is his final decision after years of inner torment. So I'm gonna do as Dad's will says. Goodbye for now, Philia. I hope that one day we can come to terms with each other and be the siblings that we always were.
But if he cared for me as much as he cared for you, then why did he give you more inheritance? I want that money as well. It wasn't supposed to be like this. I was supposed to get rich after Dad died. Irvis, marry me instead of Adriana.
Huh? Phila? What in the world are you talking about? Why should I marry you?
You see, I was such an unlucky child all this time.
Oh, you mean how you weren't your father's actual child? I guess it's a bit ironic how you kicked Adriana out of her father's funeral because she wasn't actually related to him, when in reality, you were the one who wasn't related to your father, and she was.
Yes, I never wanted this to happen, and I can't even receive an inheritance because of Adriana.
What does Adriana have to do with this? Your father simply gave Adriana more money than you and your mother, simply because he thought Adriana would make better use of it, I think. I doubt he was petty enough to give Adriana more money just because he liked her more. It simply isn't good parenting. You and your mother are housewives without a job, right? But Adriana has a promising career. In fact, she's now the CEO of her father's company, and so that's probably why he gave her the money.
But if Adriana never existed, then at least I would have been Dad's only legal child, and me and Mom would have been able to receive an inheritance. Isn't that so?
Philia, do you realize that you're being extremely rude to Adriana?
What? Who cares if I was being a bit rude? I was only telling her the truth. She was trying to lay claim to Dad's inheritance even though she was just a stranger to him. That's why I told her to get out of my sight.
It's true that the business of inheritances can be delayed and people need to handle them logically. But after your father died, while everyone else was quietly mourning your dad with whatever thoughts they might have had for him, the sight of you and your mother looking so excited for the inheritance was disturbing, simply put. I'm not surprised your dad chose to give his inheritance mainly to Adriana. With that personality of yours, I'm actually surprised he didn't divorce your mother and let go of you sooner. It just goes to show how kind of a man he was.
It's not like that. Dad always treated Adriana better than me, and now I know why. It's because I wasn't actually his real child, and Adriana was his nephew all along. And I never intended for it to seem like I wasn't sad about my dad's death and only cared about the inheritance, Irvis. I was sad about Dad's death just like everyone else. You just didn't notice it. And what do you mean, that personality of yours? I'm a much better person than Adriana. She just pretends to be the saint when in reality, she just does it to make people like her. And me and Mom are the only person who realize it.
I knew that's what she would say. It's not like your dad ever told me anything, but I don't think that he treated Adriana better than you simply because you were the child of another man. And Adriana was his nephew. Adriana's father was the kind of person that judged someone entirely on who they are as a person. You can see it in how he runs his company, where employees are evaluated entirely on their scale, right? This means that your father was more fond of Adriana than you simply because he liked her better as a person. Although, I will admit that a father treating their children with different levels of love is a bit unfair, and I'll forgive you a little bit for that. But saying that you never intended for it to seem like you weren't sad about your dad's death and that you only cared about the inheritance is actually just as bad as saying that you did intend for it to look like that. Because now you're just someone that has no regard for manners and what other people think.
Irvis, don't say things like that. It wasn't my fault that I wasn't actually my father's child and that Adriana was his niece. I didn't ask for any of this to happen. Please, I have no one else to depend on. Why don't you want to marry me?
I feel bad for your situation, but sorry, I'm not going to marry you no matter how much I pity you. Because I love Adriana and no other woman. Goodbye, Philia. I hope that you someday find happiness of your own.
Dad was the owner of the house Philly and her mother lived in, but it was now my house after the inheritance. It seems the two were too proud to live in a house owned by me, so they used the little money they received as a gift from Dad to find an apartment. Actually, the gift money they received was only little compared to the rest of the inheritance, but it was still quite a large sum of money. But for some reason, the two of them decided that these were the funds they needed to start gambling, even though they needed that money to get by until they could start providing for themselves. Even though they intended to earn some easy money by winning, they eventually lost all of it. Now the two of them support themselves by working at a job that comes with housing, but since the two of them have never worked a day in their lives, they frequently make mistakes and get scolded by the other employees. The two now live in poverty and constantly have fights, it seems. Me and Irvis, on the other hand, got married a few months after the memorial service took place, which is also when I started to be more comfortable with my new position as the CEO. We decided to find a new house as a way of putting the past behind and starting anew, and I decided to sell the house I inherited from Dad. I kind of feel bad for Philia. After all, she thought that she was her dad's real child her whole life. But to be honest, I don't think Dad was the kind of person to judge a person based on something like that. So I also feel that what happened to her was ultimately her own doing.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.